and we will be redirected to the our system, right? Okay. So first we'll cover the dashboard. Okay. So as you might be already aware that this PMS software, the property management system software, it can benefit us in terms of maintaining the reservations and daily guest profiles we are having in our property. Like maintaining the reservations in the sense the check-in of the guest, check-out of the guest, invoice generating, okay, payment posting, and with that many more functions are available, and we can maintain our housekeeping team, and any tasks are there, work orders are there, right? So we can all maintain through this property management system. Okay, so here first we are covering the dashboard. Dashboard generally provide us a quick overview, or we can say a quick status in terms of overview of our current status of the property. Okay, so if you'd like to see that what is the current status going on in the property, so you can, if you view the dashboard, you can have an idea regarding the reservations. Like on the top head, you will get this columns of arrival, departures, guest in house, and your room status. So in arrival, you might be seeing that in the circle, it will give you the total number of arrivals for the present date. System has also a working date of its own. So on the dashboard, whatever data you will be seeing, it will be for the present working date of the system here. Okay. So if you can see that there are four arrivals for the present working date. Okay. And out of them, the bifurcation is provided here. Like out of four arrivals, three guests are still pending to be arrived in property, and one guest has already arrived in the property. Okay. One guest is already checked in, and same goes for the departures also, and guest in house also, and room status you can see itself right here. Okay, and below the notification section is there, correct? So now in the notifications, first one is work order. So work order tab is generally it is used for the housekeeping team members. So in case if you are managing your housekeeping team and housekeeping team members through this system, right, so you can use this facility of the work order. But in order, your housekeeping team members also need to install our easy mobile application into their phones, and they can log in, right? You can create a separate login for the housekeepers, and you can provide them the details. So if once they have logged in into the application by the provided details, okay, after then front office team or the reception person can go to the work order, and they can see the current work orders which are generated currently. Okay, and if any new work orders are to be generated and assigned, so from here add work order, they can generate a new one by filling out all the details, like for which room number this work order will be, and what any, if any special instructions or any guidance are there, so they can manage, they can give those instructions, and they can give that proper information regarding of the work order. They can provide it here in the description box. Okay, and after that they can choose the category, whether it belongs to a repair category or it's a other task maintenance, correct? And in and whenever your housekeeping team members for whom you have already created a login, or from whom you have a separate login into the system, you will get a list of those housekeeping team members. Okay, like here two names are there, Amit and Raju. So if I have created a work order and I need to assign it to someone, so we can see two options are available. So if I select Amit, so I Amit, and I can save it after filling out the necessary details. Okay, now if Amit has logged in through his phone in our application, right? So one notification will be sent to his phone that a work order has been assigned to you. from the front office team, and he can see it from the mobile itself, and he can perform the task. And once the work order is been completed, he can update it right away from his mobile itself, and same will be updated in the web also. Okay. So in case means we do not, it is not necessary to contact the housekeeping team member in order to complete any work orders, right? If we can have a contactless work order type. Now, next few options like booking inquiry payment fields are related to the booking engine, our another product, our separate product, right? Easy reservation, which is now we'll be covering this guest portal. So in this PMS, in this property management system, whenever you create a booking for a walk-in reservation or any direct bookings are there. So when you add their reservation, when you create them, so once we have created a specific reservation for the walk-ins, email is being sent from the system automatically to the guest. Okay. In that email, one confirmation voucher is being sent to the guest. Okay. And that one more email goes off this guest portal. So in that email, system sends one URL of the guest portal. Okay, a unique password, a unique pin for each and every guest is being sent. Okay, and by using that unique password or pin, they can log in into the guest portal. They can access it, and when they visit on the guest portal, they can perform certain operations at the guest portal. Okay, so they don't need to contact for those operations, they don't need to contact to reception team or front office team. They can just take the actions from the guest portal side, correct? Like let's say for example, if they want a copy of their invoice, if they want a copy of their invoice or bill, so they can have it from the guest portal itself. Or with that, if they want some changes in the duration of their stay, means first they were staying for 3 nights, but now they want to just want to stay for 2 nights, right? They want to reduce a night, or they would like to cancel their reservation due to any uncertainty, so they can generate a request for it. Like, I would like to cancel my request and my reservation here. Okay, like that they can generate a request for it from the guest portal. And once any request has been generated, a count will be shown here to the front office team on this panel. Okay, and as this dashboard is a fully functional dashboard, so they can directly log in into it here. If they click, this option will be open, and they will be able to see that which guest has generated the request and from which room they belong, on what request they have generated. Okay, like canceling their reservation or amending their stay. Okay, and after that, it will be in the control of the front office team or the reception person, uh, that whether they would like to accept the request of the guest or whether they would like to reject it. Okay, here guest message. So here, any necessary information or any important notice or any comments you would like to have and keep it for the guest, right? So you can use this option of guest message by selecting the guest profile. You can select the field and for whom this message will be, and you can mention the details or the information you need to keep it. Okay, you can mention them here and you can save it. And now task. So task is also similar to the work order itself, right? But the difference between them is work order is generated for the internal purpose, means for property related matters or for property related works, right? But this task is generated for guest purpose. If let's suppose for example, if any guest has a is having any request, a special request to provide an additional service to them, right? So in order to keep a record for it or to for saving the information, we can add it as a task also. Like a guest requested that they would like their room to be decorated when they will be arriving in the hotel, right? So as a task, it will be a task for the team. So you can mention the guest. You can select for who will performing this task, either a front office team or housekeeping team. And in the task drop box, you can mention the details of the task, whatever necessary informations are there. You can share it here, okay? And then you can save it, so it will be saved here. And this review, so as I said that this guest portal site, guests can perform certain operations from their side itself, right? So if they are posting any feedbacks or any reviews on the guest portals, so you will be able to see them here in the review box, okay? Yes. So here we completed the dashboard page, all right? And if you are having any questions or queries regarding to the dashboard, so you can drop them in the chat box, which can be acknowledged later. Now, after the dashboard, we'll be covering our next view, our next screen, which will be the stay view. So from here, you can directly visit to the stay view, or else there are two more ways from where you can go to the stay view. First one is in main menu, front office, stay view, okay, and the third one is here in the quick menu, stay view. So you can visit to the stay view by using either of option, any option. So when we come to the stay view, as we can see, we get a calendar type of view here, right? Like on the left hand side, we get the details of the room types, room numbers, and on the top head, we get a 15 days of calendar section, date section, okay? And in the mid screen on the main page here, we can see the reservations, correct? Here, right? But as you might be noticing, or there might be a question that why these reservations are reflecting in different color, are appearing in different color. So the answer is that in the system is designed to assign a color, a specific color to a booking according to its stay status. It means if a booking is a confirmed reservation status, so it should be reflected in green color, so system will reflect their booking bar into the green color, okay? And if the guest arrives at the property and we mark them as a check-in, so it turns their booking in red, correct? And once the guest has checked out from the property, so it turns their profile bar into the blue color, okay? And with that, here in the I button, many more indicators are there which are related to the room indicators and the booking indicators. Okay, so you can look after it. Okay, so now we'll cover that how we can create a reservation. Okay, so for creating the reservation, there are two ways. First is from here, the add reservation option. We can create it. It's a little bit of a quick reservation type, so it requires a less information fields, and we can confirm the reservation more quickly. Okay, and the second way of creating a reservation is through drag and drop. So let's suppose in family room I want to create a reservation. So I come to the family room, and if I want to set this reservation for 22 till 24th. Okay, so if and want, I can apply the maintenance block here. okay, directly for this specific room, or else if you want to take a reservation, walk in or a direct booking, so you can click on this walk in. Now when you drag and drop it, like let's say from 22 till 24th or 25th, the reservation is required. Now here again, if any changes are required in check-in date or check-in time, check-out date and check-out time, or room numbers and reservation types, so you can select those here. Okay, like check-in date, check-in time, check-out date, check-out time. Here the number of rooms. In case of a group booking, if they are asking for multiple rooms under a single profile, so you can increase the number of rooms from here. Okay, and with that, the reservation type is also available, so you can select it whether it's a confirm booking or it's an unconfirmed booking. Okay, because here if you select hold confirm or hold unconfirmed booking, then you get an additional feature to set a release date of that particular booking. It means if you want to make sure that this reservation is going to come, or this reservation should give his confirmation till in few days, so you can set a release date if it's a unconfirmed booking, right? Means if it's put on hold, that guest is not sure at the moment that they would be coming or not, so you can give them a time like till 3 days or till this date. You can make sure your reservation, otherwise we'll be releasing it from our system, right? And with that, here again booking source is available. Means if you are having any contracts with any offline travel agents or any agreements with corporate deals, so if you might be receiving bookings from the companies also, correct? So if it is something like that, so you can select it like travel agents, companies. You can add their name also. Okay, and you can mention their commission plan also if you have set it anything. Now below we can select the room type detail, which room type they would like to stay in. Okay, then here we can select the rate type. Let's say continental plan. So the price configured for this continental plan of family room will be appeared here automatically. Okay, it will show you the room charges and the tax amount. But in case if the booking or the guest for whom we are making this reservation is a special guest, and we would like to offer a different rate, or we would like to offer a special rate to them, so what we can do is we can use this option of override room rate, and then we can mention the rate in which we need to offer this booking. Let's say 4,300. Okay, for 3 nights. But again, let's say we have already calculated the tax in this amount, in this 4,300. Then what? Correct. Because here it is applying tax again. So what we can do is we can just select this option of tax inclusive. So system will be also aware that we have already calculated the taxes in this amount and it is a final amount. Okay, you can add a discount from here also, or and if required you can add another room also for the group bookings, correct? And you can select different rooms also if you required. Now below, after selecting the room and rate plan informations, you can come to the guest information field, and here we can add the details of the guest like name, mobile, email, and multiple fields are available, so whichever data is required you can add those according to your choice, correct? And beside this name field, beside this guest name, here one more option is there, in which if you open it, you can upload the pics of the guest, upload the photo, and you can add the identity information of the guest, like ID number, ID type, and the photo of their ID proof. And if you required, so we can add few more names also in this ID list or any other list. Okay, it is a configurable, so you can share the name with your account managers and they can help you for the same. So now let's say I will create a booking by the name of, let's say, Thomas Shelby. So again, if I am here typing a name, Thomas Shelby, and in earlier, if there will be any already a existing profile of this particular guest will be there in the system, so you can directly select to that profile also, if it's a repeated guest, in case of repeated guest, correct. So it will show you the details of their previous stay also, like what were the check-in check-out dates, what were the room types and rate plans, and what rate was offered, and do we wish to offer the same rate again, yes or no. Correct. But if it's a different guest, only the names are same. But if it's a different guest, so then we don't need to select any profile or recommendations here. We just need to enter the details manually. Okay. And after that, if any advance payment is being received from the guest, or if any deposit amount is being received from the guest, so we can add that payment and we can post that deposit amount at the time of creating a reservation from here, like add payment, cash, or the way through which we are receiving, and the amount we are receiving, like it's only 4,500, let's say. So we can select it 4,500. Okay, and then we can add it, and we can either directly check in the cu- customer or we can reserve it. So let's say at the time of creating the reservation, there is an option of assigning a room number to a booking, right? But for this Thomas booking, we did not assign any room numbers. Correct. So how it will be showing it? So if you can see this blue box, it is showing in next to the family room. So you can, if you click on it, you will be seeing that this is an unassigned booking. Correct. So you can assign a room number to it. Let's say 306 and assign room. So now the booking will be reflecting on the main page. Okay. And as it is showing in green color, why again? Because it's a confirm reservation, and according to the system, confirm reservation should be reflected in the green color, right? Now once we click on the booking, so its profile page gets opened, and you can see the basic details of the booking on the profile page itself, and below you get this charge history, like what is their total price and total charges till now, and till present how much they have paid. Okay, in this paid it will show you that how much payment has been done from the guest side till now. And the third one, balance, so it shows the remaining balance of the guests, or let's say due amount of the guest. Okay, the payment which has to be collected from guest. Now here we are having this print option. Okay, so if you click on this print option, you get two options, either to print an invoice or to print a confirmation voucher. So, which I informed earlier that when a confirm reservation is being created in the system, so guest received an email from the system side and a confirmation voucher also, right? So this is the voucher which is being sent to guests. So now one more drop down is there, a drawer is there of more options. So in this we have set certain operations and the options which are having a chances, or which are having the possibilities of being used more frequently by the front office team or by the reception team. So we have set them in this drop, drop down of the more options, correct? So you can see like add payment, amending stay. Okay, so we'll go one by one for them. So as it's a confirmed reservation and there are chances that guest might not show on the arrival date, he might not come. Okay, or guest might request for a cancellation of this booking. Okay, or we might need to delete it or remove it, this particular reservation from the system. So where we can do it? So in the more options itself, there is a option of cancel reservation. So if guest requests us to cancel their reservation due to any reason, so we can mention the reason here. We can, if we want, we can charge them accordingly. Okay, as a cancellation charges or cancellation fee, and we can save it. Or either if guest was supposed to come today but he didn't came, or there was no update from their side, so we consider them as a no show. So we can mark them as a no show also in the system. Okay, and the third one is void reservation. So void reservation is basically if we need to remove the reservation from the system, we need, in simple words we can say, if we need to delete it or we need to remove it entirely, so we can do it. Like in case we might have created a duplicate booking or any wrong booking with the incorrect data, so we need to delete it from the system, correct? So we can use this option of void and we can void them. So next option we'll be covering is check-in. So check-in option will be available only on a one condition, which will be the arrival date of the guest and the working date of the system should be same. Then only you will get the option of check-in and you will be able to check in any guest. And same condition applies on the checkout also. The departure date of the guest and the working date of the system should be same. Then only anyone will be able to proceed the checkout for any specific reservations. Okay, so here we can see that the arrival date and the working date, both dates are similar and same. So we are having an option of check-in and we can proceed for the same. Okay, so we can see a warning like I didn't mention things are compulsory in order to process for check-in. Like in this system, you can apply the settings from the back end. Like you can make any informations mandatory or compulsory for doing a check-in. Like identity information should be filled. Identity information should be there, then only any guest will be able to check in, right? So even if we have not filled the identity information, so we won't be able to check in because it's compulsory. So first system will tell us to add those details like ID number, ID type, and save. Then if we try to check in the guest, then we'll be able to do it. So the guest has checked in and folio number is also generated for the same. And you can see the status has changed to arrived, and same as color also, the color of the booking bar is now is matching to the arrived, not. And if we might have checked in the guest by mistakenly, so in case we can undo it also if required, we can undo the check-in. And the second option here is add payment. So during the stay or at any point, if we are receiving any payment from the guest, and we can post it from this option add payment. Okay, so we can select the type, like in which way we are receiving, cash, bank, or city ledger. So in bank, if we have selected, so through which method, like it's being paid from credit card, bank, net banking, UPI. Okay, so we can select them accordingly, and we can mention the amount we are receiving here, right? That every time it's not like we might be receiving full amount. Guest might pay some amount now, and the remaining amount at the time of checkout also. Correct. So whatever amount we are receiving, we can mention that. Okay, and we can save the entry. And here one more option was there of city ledger. So city ledger amount or the city ledger posting is basically for the credit purpose. If the payment is a credit payment and it will be paid later on, so you can post it into a company city ledger or into a travel agent city ledger, and later on after the checkout or when the time will come, you will be clearing that payments. So it will be considered as a credit payments. So now if you can see that in the paid, first it was showing zero, now it's being showing that amount we entered, and from the remaining balance also same amount has been deducted. Okay, and it has been reduced. So next option here we are having amend stay. So when in which scenarios we can use this amend stay? So amend stay is basically used for extending the duration of the guests of stay duration, or reducing the stay duration of the guest. It means, let's say on the first place, if the guest has created and if they have opted for a 3 night reservation, correct, but after the check-in or after staying 1 to 2 nights, now they would like to extend their reservation and would like to stay for 2 more nights, correct. So we can increase the stay and we can extend the duration. Instead of 23, now they would like to check out on 26 or 27, so we can select that also and we can save it. So the booking will be extended. Okay, and same, if at the first place, if the reservation was created for 5 nights, but due to any uncertainty or due to any urgency, now they would like to proceed the checkout tomorrow itself or after one night itself, so we can reduce it also. So we can see here the reservation has been reduced. Okay, so this is how, and the total charges will be, the room charges will be also calculated automatically based on the number of nights. Okay. Okay, option of next option is add new booking. So add new booking is basically if we want to add any new booking into an existing booking, like adult one or this reservation number one is already staying with in the property, and now any known person of him or her, like any colleague, friend or family, is going to come and stay in the hotel, they would also like to reserve a room, correct. So but they would like to stay as a group booking. So in this independent booking only, we can add a new booking and we can merge them as a group booking, as a group reservation. Okay. Now, next is a room move. So, by the name itself, we can have an idea that if we want to shift any guest from one room to another room, so we can use this feature of room move. Okay, and we can select the date ranges for which dates they would like to shift the room. Let's say for the date 22 to 23, now they would like to shift into the super deluxe. So we can select, then we can select the room number. Okay, room type, room number, and if the prices are different, then we can select the override room rate also, and then we can save it. Okay. Next is exchange room. So in the exchange room, if any two guests or any two profiles would like to switch their rooms with one another, right? So we can do that also through this operation of exchange room, correct? Like Mr. Thomas would like to exchange their room with Mr. XYZ. So we can select both of their profiles and we can save it. So their room numbers will be switched with one another internally. In stop room. So any guest, let's say, might have requested that they would not like to shift their rooms or they would not like to move from their rooms due to any special reasons or they liked it much. So we can apply the stop room move. So we can be aware that don't have to shift that guest, particular guest. And we can mention the reason like guest would not like to move and we can save it. So here a hand symbol will be appeared, okay, of stop remove, this hand sign, okay. And again, if any other user also, if there might be multiple users in the property, and if any other user also would like to move the guest or would try to move the guest, so system will give them a warning like stop remove is there, is applied by admin user and the reason is mentioned. So before confirming, they can still reconsider it and then they can take the action of yes and no. Okay. Void transaction we have already covered and the inclusion list. So here, if you would like to post any inclusions or any charges, so you can select those charges like extra bed, laundry charges, swimming pool charges, coffee, breakfast, right? Whatever the charges. So in here also, if you would like to add certain few more names, so you can share those names and details with us, and we can add it from the backend. Correct? We can configure those names if required. Let's say I will choose for this laundry. Then how I would like to post it. Like on the everyday basis, I would like to charge them or only on a certain date. So I can select that specific date on which I need to charge this expense. Okay. And then charge a rule. So in which way I would like to charge, like per adult wise, per person wise, or per booking wise, okay, or per quantity wise. So it depends generally on the charges, what type of charge we are posting. So in case like in case of laundry, we can use per quantity also. Okay. And we can mention the number of clothes we are having for the laundry and we can save it. So this will be the per price, like per quantity price. It will be multiplied by the quantity total and it can be show you. So as we have completed this more options, so if you are having any questions related to this features, kindly drop them in the chat box here. Okay. In the Google Meet chat box option is there. You can drop them. Any queries. Now, next we'll be moving towards the edit reservation. So here when we go to the edit reservation, a folio operation we redirect it to. Okay. And here we can see the transactions or the entries which are being posted for this reservation, like room charges and payment was received. So payment entry is there, correct? And if you want, you can edit the amounts also. You can void a specific entry also if required. A single transaction also can be voided. And if required, so you can print the receipt of this specific transaction, like the cash or the payment was received of the specific mentioned amount, like that. And from here also you can perform certain operations like add payment charges, extra charges. Okay, again, let's say coffee. Add. If you would like to give them any discounts, so you can apply the discounts from here also. You can print the invoices, and in the more, if you want, you can send the invoice through email also. So you can mention the email ID, and you can send the invoices directly to the guest through email. Okay. Here in the booking details, you can see and modify if required, like billing information or the source information, like on whom the bill to will be, on whose name, on the company name, on the guest itself, or on the group owner. Okay. And here, if you would like to add any source information, like through which source you have get this business or the booking, so you can mention it, like if it was from a travel agent, so you can mention the travel agent firm. You can say, add the commission plans if required. Okay. And next is guest details. So here also the details of the guest will be reflected, and if required you can modify it. Okay. And one more thing is here, which is if you would like to add the details of the second or third person, means like there are three adults who are sharing the room, correct? And you would like to enter the details of all the guests. So once the booking is created, once the reservation is created, after that you can add the details of second and third person from here, like add room sharer. You can mention the details and you can save it. Okay. So for the second and third person, you can add the details from here. Here the room charges, you will be able to see that for each night what room charges are there, and which rate type is being pursued. Okay. And if required, so you can update it also, you can edit it, select the night for which you would like to change, update details, you can change the rate type, you can select the paxes, and if required you can change the amount also. And again, if it's inclusive of text, so you can select it and apply. So here the rate type is also changed, and the charges also. Next is credit card. So if any credit card details are being entered, so you will be able to access them up to 5 to 6 times. After that, you won't be able to see those details of credit card. And the last, audit trail. So here you will find the logs, like what changes are being done on this specific reservations. So you will get all the details here, like whatever changes has been done and what actions have been taken. Okay. By which user it was being done, you will get the name of that particular user, and on which date and on which time it was done. So you will be having that detail also. Okay. So if you are having any questions till now, that how we can create the reservation or how we can check in, check out, payment posting, so you can drop a query in the chat box, please. Or else we can move further. Okay. So as till now we saw that if any changes are required, or if we need to check in the guest or perform a certain operations, how we can do that, right? But what about the checkout and changing the date? As today it's March 23rd, correct? But as we can see, our system is still running on March 22nd. It means no one has performed a night audit or no one has changed the working date of the system. As the system working date does not change on automatically basis. Okay. For changing the working date, you need to perform the night audit process. Okay, and once the night audit is completed, after that only the working date of the system will be updated and moved. Okay, so now for this particular guest, if we take an example, like departure date is of 23rd March, correct? And as earlier informed, the departure date and the working date should be same. Then only we'll have an option of checkout. So we'll see how we can change the working date and how we can perform the night audit. So on the left hand side, we can go in the front office. Here the night audit is there. Okay. Main menu, front office, night audit. So in night audit, there will be 6 stages you need to complete and clear. Okay. Once those are done, after that your night audit will be completed. Okay. First is pending reservation. So any confirm reservations or any confirm bookings who are which are there in system, which are available in system, and we might have not taken any action on them, like we might have not checked in them, or we might have not cancelled them, marked no show, or avoided them. Okay. So at the day closing, it will ask you to take any necessary actions on them, like if those bookings were already checked in into the property but we didn't mark them in the system, so we can mark them now. Okay. And if those were cancelled or voided but we didn't mark them in the system, so we can update it in the system that these were the cancelled or they were marked as no show, like that. So for now I will check in them, or let's say void them. So we mark the no show on group itself for the whole group. Now the release reservation. So you might remember there was an option of hold unconfirm and hold confirm booking when creating a reservation. Correct. So when we are selecting those operations, we get an option of release date and time, which I talked earlier about. Correct. So if we have set any release date for today, so in system it will show you that particular reservation for which release date is being set. Okay. So now you can take the action on it, like you can release it or you can either extend the release date if required. Okay. And once it's done, you can go to the next step, which will be the room status. So in the room status, here it will show you the status of only those rooms in which bookings are present and guests are there. Correct. Unsettled folios. So unsettled folios are something, once we close any booking, once we check out any guest, okay, or once we close any folio, and after that if we perform any transactions or if we perform any entries on them, so again those folios balance comes up. Okay. And they move from zero. So any folio which is closed and their balance is not zero, so they will be considered as unsettled. Okay. So it will show you here in the list that these folios were already closed with zero balance, but again some balance has been there and some postings might have been done. Okay. So you need to settle them first. Okay. And then again you need to make them zero balance. Okay. And after that, when it will be settled, you will be having the option of next year. You can go with. Okay. So here the fifth step is nightly charge. So in this nightly charge option, you don't need to do a much major task. It's a simple task we need to do. A simple step like we can select all the rooms here. Okay. And we can just need to post it. Okay. Select all the rooms, post it here. So what it is being done. So in the system, when you post the nightly charges, basically the room charges for this particular night, so it posts in the guest ledger account. Okay. For the reporting purpose. And the last step, your closing date 22nd. After night audit, data for this date will be frozen. It means once the night audit has been done and we have finished it, so we cannot do a major changes in the data as it will be freezed, and we can jump to the next date. Okay, so now if we see that departure date is also 23rd and the working date is also 23rd, right? So now if we go to the more option, checkout option is available, correct? So again it gave us the error. Why is that? Sum of folio has non-zero balance, so checkout is not allowed. Okay. So for this particular guest, for Thomas Shelby, some balance was still remaining in the folio, which was not paid by guest, and it's a due amount, right? So first we need to collect that payment and clear it. And once we have cleared the payment and the remaining balance goes to the zero, after that only it will allow us to check out. See, now the guest checked out successfully. We can generate the invoice, we can print it, and we can hand it to the guest. Okay. So this is how the night audit was performed and the guest has been checked out. So for that particular date also you will be able to perform the checkout, not for the future transactions. You won't be able to do the check-in and checkout for the future transactions if night audit is not performed. Okay. So now if we go to the main menu, in the front office, we saw the dashboard earlier. We saw stay view. Okay. And in the dashboard, there was a part of reservations. Here you can see. Okay. From here also you can see. So it will show you that which are the reservations or which are arrivals for the today, which are departures, or guests in house which are currently staying in your profile. So it will give you the profile of those guests. Okay. And room view. So here you will get a different type of view which is organized by the room types and room numbers according to the room wise view. Okay. And here you can guess the list like how many rooms are vacant, how many are reserved, how many are blocked, how many are dirty. You can, if you select them, you will get the list of those like occupied rooms. So two rooms are occupied. Okay. And vacant rooms, so you can see the vacant rooms in a single click. Okay. So as we saw the night audit, so during the night audit, on the last step, there was a note that after performing the night audit, data will be freezed, right? Data will be frozen. It means, as we said, that we cannot make the changes in the past dates, correct? But due to any uncertainty, let's suppose, let's take an example that we already performed the night audit till 23rd. Okay, but we forgot, we did not remember to add certain manual bookings of 20th March, 21st March. So now if we tries to do, we cannot select 21st March, correct? We can just select future dates. We cannot select past dates if we are adding a reservation. So how we can have a solution for it? So for that scenario, we are having this option of insert transaction, through which you will be able to add the data for the past dates. Okay. For the audited dates, you will be able to enter the booking. Okay. You can just select those dates, fill the details, and you can just save it. So the transaction will be saved in the past date, whichever you have selected. Okay. Guest database. So as whenever any new guest comes to the hotel and stay, so whenever we add the details of the guests at the time of creating the reservation, all those details get summed up and a guest profile is being created and it is saved in the guest database for each and every new guest. Okay. And you can find the list of all the guests here, and if you require, you can add it manually also, or else you can export it in your spreadsheets also. We covered the guest review already in the dashboard. Unsettled folio was created, covered in the night audit, correct? And the lost and found. So here, if required, you can maintain the lost and found entries. If any items are getting lost into the hotel, or if any items are being found by the housekeeping team or anyone else, so and it was submitted to the reception team, so you can enter the found entry and you can add it, like what was item name, color, value, and all. Okay. Now the caching. So here also there are three database: company, travel and salesperson database, travel agent, salesperson database. You can go to those database, you can see a list of travel agents you are having, and if you would like to add any new travel agents, you can add it from here. You can mention the details of those. Okay, and you can save it. So a new travel agent profile will be created and it will be saved in your travel agent database. Okay, same goes for company also and salesperson also. And here in the cashiering center, as I talked about the credit payments of travel agents, right? Like the credit postings or the payment postings which will be taken care after the checkout of the guest, or those are just posted on the credit basis, right? So if any payment is being received for those credit amounts, so you can make a new payment by the city ledger. It means, let's say, from this enjoyed travel, if you have received a payment which was pending, so you can select it receive from city ledger, you can mention the amount, and you can mention the methods, and you can save it. Okay. And here you can cover the housekeeping part, like work order was already there, covered. Maintenance block, so from here you can apply the maintenance block in bulk, means for multiple room types or for multiple room numbers. If you would like to apply a block, so you can select the room type, room numbers. Okay, like, and if it is all of them, so select all. Okay, select the date range for how many days you would like to apply a maintenance block. Okay, and you can apply it by mentioning the reason, like maintenance work or any repairing work. Okay, and you can save it. Okay, so if you apply it, so the maintenance block will be selected and will be applied to the selected room numbers. And this house status, you will be able to see how many rooms are under your clean status, how many rooms are under your dirty status. You can see them. Okay, and you will get a list of them. And here the report section is there. So if required, many multiple kinds of reports are available. You can go through them. Okay, you can see multiple types of reports are there. You can see and you can go through them, like reports for the back office, reports for the front office, reservation reports, statistical reports, graphs and charts, correct? Graphical views and analysis, all the data you will get it. And here a search bar is also there, means each and every time you don't need to find and go for searching that particular report you want to see. If you remember its name, so you can just type manager, like let's say manager report is there, so I searched manager and the result was there, correct?